What's up, Tailgaters? You're in the booth with Tailgate Nate today. Welcome to my channel. Got another Week 4 preview prediction for you here, and we're going to be talking about the huge ACC matchup that has taken place in Clemson, South Carolina. Of course, it's going to feature the Clemson Tigers, who are going to play host to the number 4 ranked team in the nation, and a team that's looked very impressive so far, the Florida State Seminoles. A huge matchup for bragging rights in the ACC. ACC implications already in the early season. Before we dive into this preview prediction, though, I just want to say thank you guys for the support the channel has seen as of late, and continue to show your support for the channel in any way you can. The biggest way you can do that, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you know when videos get uploaded, but there are other ways you can help support this channel. Hey, you guys are doing one of them right now by watching the video, so you guys can obviously do more by liking, commenting, sharing, and anything else that you guys may be willing and or able to do. Again, I fully understand if you can't, but I appreciate whatever you guys are able to do to help me out here. Again, anything you do to interact with the channel helps to support it. So let's go ahead here and talk about this huge matchup in the ACC. Again, the Seminoles did struggle last week, but for the most part, they have been a very, very impressive team overall. And when you take a look here at the Clemson Tigers, it has not been pretty for them so far, but it feels like Clemson is starting to round in here to a pretty solid football team. So we are going to talk here about stats. Gotta love stats. I'm a big numbers guy. I love statistics. So let's talk about the statistics for both of these teams. We're going to start out here with the Florida State Seminoles, as they are the visiting team here in this game. And offensively, I mean, what's not to like? Jordan Travis has been playing really, really well. 739 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception on 63% completion percentage. This is a rushing attack that's really been able to get it going as well. Jordan Travis has been able to show off the ability with his legs. Trey Benson, the lead back, has looked really, really good. He has 4 touchdowns on the season so far. Rodney Hill and Lawrence Toafili have also looked phenomenal for this Florida State offense. And then this pass catching room, I mean, is just second to none. It's got probably the best size that the country has to offer, and it's one of the best units the country has to offer because of the ability in all the players and the size that it possesses. Johnny Wilson, Keon Coleman, Jaheim Bell, and many others are some huge, huge parts to what the Florida State Seminoles like to do offensively. They're not allowing pressure, only 2 sacks allowed on the year. Turnovers have kind of come here and there. They're not a huge issue for this team. Pretty solid team on third down as well. What I'm trying to say, guys, this offense is looking really, really good, moving really, really well. And it was still able to move pretty well against a Boston College defense last year, but the defense did struggle last week. So they're going to look to want to clean a couple things up from last week. And again, the offense from last week, clean up those turnovers. There were some turnovers that helped Boston College get back into that game. So while turnovers have not been an issue the entire season, you definitely have to clean them up from last week. And if you are the Florida State defense here, again, clean up some of those things that you saw in that Boston College game. But this Florida State defense in general has still performed really, really well, right? They're only allowing 22 points per game. They're allowing under 400 yards per game. That secondary has been really getting torn up, though. So the secondary is definitely going to be a strength. I guess coming into the year was figured to be a strength, definitely going to be an area to improve. However, you have 13 passes defended, 3 interceptions, and a pick 6 so far on the season. And that pick 6 there has come courtesy of Jerry and Jones. But the linebacker room is playing really, really well. It is a defensive back room that maybe can do a little bit job at tackling here in the open space, but there's too much talent on this Florida State defense to not improve. They're generating sacks. That defensive front is really, really good. And the secondary definitely has room to improve. You're still a lot of really good players, but it's still got room to improve. And who knows how much it's really going to be tested here against a Clemson Tiger offense that definitely is a punch you in the mouth, a run heavy first team. But Cade Klubnik, especially as of late, has been getting it done through the air. He has 8 touchdowns and 2 picks so far on the season. 693 yards with 66% completion percentage. I think everyone here is going to agree it did not start out in the prettiest of ways at all for the sophomore quarterback there in Cade Klubnik. Really, really struggled in that game against Duke. Even kind of struggled in that game, the second game of the year against Charleston Southern there as well. But last week against FAU, he was really able to turn it on, was really able to perform really, really well. Had a QBR there above 80 in that past game, so he has momentum and he has shown improvement coming into this game here. Rushing attack, Klubnik has shown the ability with the legs here and there, but really it's been Will Shipley and Phil Maffa. Those two guys have been phenomenal so far for the Clemson Tigers. Maffa scoring all 3 rushing touchdowns. Shipley's not touched the end zone here. Expect that to change in this game against Florida State. Jumping in my what to watch for here a little bit too early, but we'll talk about it when we get there. The defense, though, for Clemson, I think is what we would expect, right? The defense has been on point. It's not allowing teams to score a whole lot. Again, you maybe want to get that points per game total down just a little bit. But, I mean, when you take a look here at yards, under 250 yards per game is really, really good. Under 30% conversion rate on third down is really, really good. The rush defense is there. The pass defense is there. This is one of the most talented secondaries in the entire country. It's just one of the most talented defenses in the entire country, period. They're able to force turnovers. Now, the sacks are not coming as much as maybe some Clemson fans would like. And that's going to be a big key in this game as well. You're going to have to be able to generate pressure to Jordan Travis. One thing I did not mention that we're going to circle back to the Clemson offense here. Turnovers. You have to be able to limit the turnovers here in this game. It's a Florida State defense that's very aggressive, has a lot of dominant playmakers on it, and you got to hold on to the football here, which leads me into my keys for the game, what to watch for, kind of just some things I think you should keep an eye on when you are tuning in to this game. We'll tell you where to watch it here in just a little bit. But let's talk about the Florida State Seminoles first, of course, as they are that road team. Jordan Travis is going to need to trust his playmakers. This is a Florida State team going up against a Clemson defense that, look, all in all, looks really, really good. Again, as I said, they're forcing turnovers. Maybe they can generate a little bit more pressure to the quarterback, sure, but this is a Clemson defense loaded with talent as one of the best secondaries in the entire country. Florida State and Jordan Travis, if he airs one out, pulls up those 50-50 balls, trust Johnny Wilson, trust Keon Coleman to come down with those. Your run game has been really, really good. Jordan Travis may have to improvise here and there, but trust the guys around you. That's going to be a big key there. Florida State has a lot of great playmakers. They got to be able to utilize them in the right way. Defensively, for the Seminoles, make Cade Klubnik feel uncomfortable in the pocket and around the pocket as well. Try to keep him in the pocket if you can. Try to keep him from sprinting off there, but get him to the ground, pressure him, hit him. This is a quarterback in Cade Klubnik that obviously still does not have everything figured out quite yet. So if you can make the young quarterback even more pressured, again, this is already going to be a huge game and a big moment with the home crowd behind him here. If you can make him feel uncomfortable in and around the pocket, that's just going to be a huge win for the Florida State Seminoles, and they absolutely have the pass rushers to be able to do it. And just in general, stay aggressive defensively, right? This is a Clemson offense that has had its struggles, has had its spurts, and has had its turnover problems. If you stay aggressive on defense, you're going to be able to force some turnovers. You're going to be able to force some tackles for loss. And sure, while you may give it the big play here and there, this is a Clemson offense that doesn't necessarily rely on the big play, again, as kind of a run-first offense. So stay aggressive, force that turnover, force pressure into Cade Klubnik, which leads me into my keys for the Clemson Tigers, my what to watch for Clemson. Cade Klubnik and company, again, I'm going to keep preaching it here, limit the turnovers, right? Again, this is an offense that has had some turnover problems here. Now, it really, to my knowledge, wasn't super prevalent there in that game against FAU. But in the first couple games this year, it was really a problem. It cannot resurface, it cannot come back, and it cannot be an issue here against Florida State. Because not only does Florida State have the defensive playmakers to force those turnovers, it has the offensive playmakers to turn those turnovers into points. So you got to hold on to the football, and you got to take advantage of your chances here. The pass rush is going to need to be a little bit more effective at bringing the quarterback down. Should be an extra G in that word there, especially a quarterback whose caliber is much like Jordan Travis, again, because you are playing Jordan Travis, right? So Jordan Travis has shown he can get out of the pocket and run. He's also a very, very good passer, right? So you really got to be able to pressure Jordan Travis, make him feel uncomfortable, bring him down early, bring him down often. That'll be a thing to watch for. But can the secondary win the battle? I think I have no question in my mind. Again, I've already said it. This is one of the best secondaries in the country when you take a look at the Clemson Tigers. but it's also one of the biggest, one of the tallest, probably, well, just in general, one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country, but it has a lot of size to it. So I know the secondary can match up, but can it win the battle? That's going to lead me into my prediction here. Look, this is a huge matchup out of the ACC. The chances for bragging rights, chances for an early push to the ACC championship game here already in week 4. Told you guys this is an absolutely loaded slate. This game is going to be a whole lot of fun here, but I think with the aggressiveness of this Florida State defense and with the playmakers that Jordan Travis and company have, and with the way that some of Clemson's struggles have been occurring, I just see the Florida State Seminoles going on the road in Death Valley and coming out with a win over the Clemson Tigers. I think the wide receivers are going to make enough plays. I think Jordan Travis himself is going to make enough plays, and I think this is the Florida State defense that's going to force the extra turnover, be aggressive, and go win this game for the Seminoles, again, who will now take an early push into the ACC championship game conversation. But that's going to do it for my thoughts on this game. Let me know yours in the comment section down below, and as always, remember to play hard but tailgate harder. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.